Hi everyone. Today I wanted to just make a video for uh, people that like to woodwork and whatnot, and um, I had to we had to sell our main residence and move to our cottage a few years back, um, and I didn't have a shed anymore or a garage or anything to do some woodworking in. So and we were strapped for cash after a couple of years of me being able to do very little work because of multiple chemical sensitivity. Uh, so, anyways, I ended up building this shed. Um, I call it my tiny shed because it's 12 by 12. But I wanted you guys to see what's possible to be done in a 12 by 12 shed, and how it's not as bad as you think it is. Um, 12 by 12 dimensions were basically the limitations of the bylaws, um, where my cottage is. Anyways, so I wanted you to see give you some ideas of things you might want to do if you are either starting out and you're just getting going in life, and you're in your first house, and you want to build a shed, but you don't know what style shed to build or whatnot. Maybe this will give you an idea of a great little shed that you could build. I figure my material costs for the shed were about just under 5,000. But you'll see that well, 20% of that cost is actually just the stain that's on the outside of the shed. So and it's pretty much imposed. It was imposed to me because of the stain. I wanted to match the stain on my cottage, which is a sickened stain that sells for about $100 a gallon. So by the time you pay taxes, you're at $100 a gallon, and I needed 7 gallons of this stuff to do the shed. So that was $700 right there. So here we go. Fairly windy day, so one of the neat features of this shed is I had a slope on the back of my property, and I took advantage of that slope for storage underneath of it. And as you can see, I got a couple kayaks under there. I got 3 kayaks under there, a bunch of snow sleds. I got a ladder. My winter tires are under there. Got a garbage can for outdoor garbage. Storing a bunch of wood. It's a great way to take advantage of a slope. Basically, the whole entire underneath of the shed is becomes a nice storage to keep stuff out of the sun, like the kayaks and whatnot. So I made a ramp just in case at some point I needed to I wanted to get an ATV or something later, and a double door system wide enough to accommodate an ATV. In the peak here, I put you can't see it very well, you might see an outline there. That's actually a door, so I can take out a few screws from the inside, and that whole square up there comes out, and I can access the attic and quickly take my stuff that I put up there for storage out of there. So inside you can see what 20 years of tool accumulation looks like. I've got basically all my outdoor gardening tools over in the corner there. I've got a shelf in that corner. This is all router bits, drill bits, etc. I've got some, I think it's a sander out in the corner there. And I've also got a bunch of batteries up in that box, and down below here I've got I got 8 of these, and that's a future project and future video I'm working on. I got these old UPS batteries off a company that was getting rid of them, and I've been reconditioning these batteries that basically were garbage. I had them sitting around in my garage for 4 or 5 years without a charge, and right now I'm bringing them back to life. I'm not sure how well they'll come back, but so far I've got a couple of them that have been restored. If I can get 50% out of them to come back, that would be great. I've got this thing here, which I wanted to show you guys today, which is, you know, my channel is called Jack of All Issues. So the reason for that is because I wanted a name that kind of portrayed me and what I did. And one of the things I love to do is to solve problems. So if I have an issue, I solve it. And this was one of my issues. I'll just keep going through the shed here, what I've got. So I made the shed with 2x6s, and the reason is, you can see I've got loads of storage. Okay, so here I've got all my hand tools and whatnot. Over in the corner here I've got my glues and my I got my screw storage, you know, it's just, which is just basically the screw tubs. I made a little rack there for them. Here in the corner I've got all my rakes and hose and shovels and whatnot. Then I've got, you know, my my Makita routers in there, and I've got a little storage drawer there. Some of this is wood for a future project. I've got my planer and drill bits, and so all my chargers are up here. And this is actually my backpack for going shagga hunting, which that'll be another video at some point. Snowshoes. I've got a bunch of power tools there on the top, and I've got a couple tool chests here with this is all my electronics tool stuff for building panels and whatnot, stuff that I do. And in the corner I've got storage for my clothes. Up here I got some chairs, and over in this corner I've got some books where I store my books. There's my skill saw up there. This thing here is what I use to pull my logs out of the woods with. That's another video some point in the future. In the back there I've got some plywood storage, wood storage in the back there. My drill press here, all my T-squares and whatnot here in the corner. And in the back of the table saw I store some wood that I've made with the lumber mill, which is one of the videos already on the channel. And over here I've got my clamps, my dado bit. Up there is 5 liters of canola oil, which I use for my chainsaw because I have multiple chemical sensitivity. That's what I use with chainsaw. Here I put some wood storage. This is all spalted birch, which is I show you guys cutting them in one of my videos. So that's just up there for drying. And then I've got an entire storage area there up in the roof, which I use this little step ladder to get up there. And way up there is all storage, patio furniture, all winter stuff. I have heat in my shed, which is infrared heat. This works great in the winter. It could be minus 20 in here, and I'll just come in here, turn this on, and I'm good to go and do my project. Over here I've got my power panel and extension cords, and of course my 220 volt plug, which I use for my 15 horsepower VFD testing and whatnot. So that's it. Oh, my miter box down there, miter saw down here, and a couple motors down there. And this thing here, which you'll see in a future video, which is version 2.0 of my sawmill. So that's the inside of my shed. So as you can see, you can do quite a bit with 12 by 12. And to be honest with you, this has been the best workspace I've ever had. My table saw, you know, it's on wheels, right? So I can just move it over in the corner like this. And then when I want to use a drill press, I pull it table saw, and I've got, you know, my station for my drill press. And oh, my chainsaws. There's my battery saw, and over here is my electric saw, which you guys can see in the lumber video. All right, bye for now. I hope you enjoy.